Welcome to Weird Wednesday, everybody. This is John House, or Used Toy, here with my co-host Daryl House, or Suburban Hobo, for another Weird Wednesday here on baloneybrain.com. How you doing, Daryl?
Are you ready for the summer? School is out. It's going to be a great summer on Baloney Brain and across the nation, around the world. I am so excited.
Well, yesterday I didn't get some of my work done because once I got in the pool, then something was just not right. And I realized, I need a beer. And then the rest of the day was shot after that.
I have been spending significant time in my swimming pool. It's been very good. Well, my granddaughter's getting ready to go to Texas in a couple of weeks. I'm going to miss them terribly. So I'm trying to spend as much time with them as I possibly can. They're the best.
Well, good. What do you got for us today?
Yeah, I've got some funny stories. I got a couple of Florida stories, and I have a Boston story. I just mentioned this with you in the warm-up here. I guess you hadn't heard the story, but I used to live up in the north end of Boston, so I understand what it's like. But someone just auctioned off 2 parking spaces. The auction started, actually it was the IRS that auctioned them off. I'm not even going to this story. I've read this a couple of times. They took them from a guy who owed almost $600,000 in back taxes to the IRS. So they seized his parking places. The former record, I think, was about $300,000 for parking places. This auction started at $42,000 and ended 15 minutes later, $560,000 for 2 parking spaces.
For parking spaces? Are you kidding me?
And they're not even side by side. They're like this. So like I said, you have to move this car out of the way so you can get this car out the driveway. But it's in the Back Bay. It's up by Commonwealth Avenue. It's an extremely pricey section of Boston. And people, the lady who bought them already has 3 other parking spaces, but she says, I need it for guests and for the help, So just crazy. 560,000.
Well, and in Middletown, Ohio, you can kind of park just about wherever you want, so it's...
They have parking meters yet?
They've got a few.
Does anybody use them?
Since we're talking about Ohio, I've got an Ohio story. We always pick on Florida. So a Central Ohio daycare worker sprinkled drugs on snacks to get children in her daycare to sleep during nap time.
Well, it works for me. When my kids would go sleep, I would put my hand over their nose and mouth. They would always go right out.
I wanted to name Weird Wednesday. Today I wanted to name it, Is That Wrong? So, she would put Benadryl and melatonin, sprinkle it on the kids' snacks, and they'd go right out.
What's in my grapefruit, Grandma? Well, how about it? Here's a story that came out of Jacksonville I love. Laura Lynn Ross placed 64 items from a Walmart in her cart before checking out in the self-checkout lane. But Ross only scanned 17 of those items. She paid $40 and change, neglecting to scan the other 47 items that cost $354 and change. She was stopped as she tried to exit the store. Later told cops that she thought she paid for everything, didn't realize she was leaving the store with an extra $354 in freebies. Despite deputies charged Ross with grand theft and checked her into jail. I can't imagine how I missed like 47 items on the self-checkout. What was I thinking?
See, that's that. Once again, is that wrong?
I like it. We'll got Wong. Is that Wong Wednesday? We can get Chinese takeout while we do this. Is that Wong Wednesday?
Well, I've got a Florida story myself. A Florida woman and her friend were arrested after attacking and robbing a man who thought he was going to have sex with the woman. Jennifer Lee Robbins, no trial, this is only alleged, checked into a Super 8 motel about 6:30. The victim placed $500 bills and $20 bills on the microwave and closed the blinds. But when he turned around, Robbins pepper sprayed him. And then opened the door for her male friend to come in, who started to beat the guy. The fight spilled out into the hallway, and then the two ended up leaving. But they left some of the cash and their motel key. So the police went and arrested them after police interviews.
Well, you know the old expression, caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. There actually has been a rash of foxy ladies going into upscale bars and restaurants and getting picked up and going home and drugging the guys and absconding with Rolexes and cash and credit cards and keys and all that. There was a story.
Is that wrong?
Is that Wong Wednesday? How about this one? You know, this is like just poetic justice, I think. DUI suspect Ryan Fletcher allegedly slammed his Ford into at least one other car and then fled the scene of the accident before authorities arrived. This is out of the Orlando Sentinel. Troopers soon found the 28-year-old man who had been arrested 3 other times for DUI and busted once before. On his way to jail for a breathalyzer test, Fletcher made a mess out of an already messy situation when he began to dry heave before throwing up all over the side of the Florida Highway Patrol cruiser.
Is that wrong?
That's Wong.
Well, you know, connected to my last story, another lady of the night, a man in West Midlands, England, called the police to complain about the prostitute's looks.
Basically, like Marilyn Monroe.
Basically, he said, "Listen, she misdescribed herself, misrepresenting herself totally. Basically, she was ugly."
Oh, well, nobody wants an ugly hooker.
Well, the police said, you know, that you can't waste an officer's time by complaining about this because soliciting was illegal. But the man insisted that the woman be arrested for misrepresentation.
Maybe you should have called the Better Business Bureau. Is that Wong?
Is that Wong?
Hey, listen, folks, it's another Weird Wednesday at BaloneyBrain.com. We are so pleased week after week that you join us. John, have a great one, and I'll see you soon.
We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.